Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, in the previous class, I told you regarding the types of exchange rate. Karthik, can you just tell what all things I told related to types of foreign exchange rate?
Ma'am, fixed exchange rate system,
Then?
flexible system, then managed floating exchange
Managed
system.
floating exchange. Okay, what do you mean by fixed exchange rate? Anjo, what do you mean by fixed exchange rate? Anjo?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what do you mean by fixed exchange rate?
It refers to a system in which exchange rate for currency is fixed by the government.
Fixed by the government. Okay. Aditya, what do you mean by floating exchange rate?
The exchange rates is determined by the market forces.
By the market forces. Okay. Aishwarya, can you tell what is managed floating exchange rate?
The exchange rates which are both controlled by the market forces along with the influence of the central bank.
Along with the central bank. Okay, so central bank influences. Here, they are not fixing anything. And like in the first one, fixed exchange rate, I told that government is fixing the exchange rate. Here, they are not fixing anything. Here, central bank is intervening in the exchange rate by buying and selling. Okay, so it is like some sort of intervention influence is there from the side of central bank. Why do we say it is central bank? Because central bank is the one who is keeping all the reserves of foreign exchange. So they influence the market by buying and selling the foreign exchange reserves in the market. Other than that, I told you regarding depreciation and devaluation. What do you mean by depreciation? Aparna? What do you mean by depreciation?
Ma'am, it refers to the fall in the value of domestic currency in terms of foreign currencies.
Because of?
Due to the market forces of demand and supply.
Because of the market forces in the foreign exchange market. Okay, both are reduction in the value of currency, domestic currency, but one is because of the play of forces of demand and supply. The other one, for example, devaluation. What do you mean by devaluation? Neha?
Devaluation refers to the decrease in the value of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency by the government.
In terms of foreign currency, but how it is, why it is happening? Devaluation. Is it because of market forces of demand and supply?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it? Aishwarya, is it correct?
Because of the government.
Because of government. I mean, deliberately the government is reducing the value. Okay, so both are reduction of value of domestic currency. One is because of the forces of demand and supply. The other one deliberately done by the government. Government is reducing the value of Indian currency or domestic currency. All these will be helpful for increasing the export. So both, understand, both are reducing the value of domestic currency. One is deliberately done, the other one is because of market forces. Now, next one is about appreciation or revaluation. It is the opposite of depreciation and devaluation. Appreciation in the sense, in the exchange rate system, sometimes the price of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency increases. The previous one I told, it falls or it reduces. In the depreciation, the value of domestic currency reduces. But in the case of appreciation, what happens? The value of domestic currency increases in terms of foreign currency. That we call it as appreciation. For example, appreciation of currency, like in terms rupees, in terms of foreign currency, in dollars, in terms of dollars, it is increased. The price of our currency is increasing. So appreciation of domestic currency means increase in the value of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency. And the reason is what? Due to market forces. So here appreciation is happening because of market forces or demand and supply of the foreign exchange. So appreciation and depreciation happens because of market forces. Appreciation and depreciation, okay, both happen because of market forces. Depreciation means reduction in the value. Appreciation means increase in the value of domestic currency, both domestic currency. Now, where it happens mainly in the flexible exchange rate system. So here domestic currency is becoming more valuable because we need less currency, less domestic currency to buy the foreign currency. So domestic currency is becoming more valuable, and we require less amount of domestic currency to buy any foreign currency. This is what we call it as appreciation. So once more, appreciation refers to increase in the value of domestic currency in terms of foreign exchange due to the market forces of demand and supply of foreign exchange. Now, next one, example, if the price of foreign currency is falling, that means our value is increasing. Okay. Before it was $1 rupees 70. Now that is reduced to $1 rupees 65. So this shows that appreciation of our currency. Okay. Now domestic goods are costlier for whom? Foreigners. Before or when there is or when before the appreciation, they have to pay less amount of money for buying things. Now they are able to purchase less amount of goods with the given money. For example, here foreign or domestic goods are becoming costlier for the foreigners. Now, before they were able to purchase 70 rupees worth commodities, now they are able to purchase 65 rupees worth commodities. That shows the domestic currency has become costlier for them. The before first situation when we said $1 is equal to rupees 70, the foreigners, they were able to buy 70 rupees worth commodities from our country. Now, when it is appreciated to rupees 65, what happened? Now they can buy with the same $1, they are able to buy rupees 65 worth commodities from our country. So what is happening? Domestic goods are becoming costlier for the foreigners. This will lead to decrease in export. At the same time, for domestic people, it has become cheaper to get things from outside. Before we need to pay 70 rupees to get $1 or to get things from outside. Now we need to pay only 65 rupees. This shows that things from outside, it is cheaper for the domestic people or for Indians. If we take the case of Indians, what happens here? Things from outside, it has become cheaper and they can buy now more goods with that $1 Before they gave 70 rupees, now we need to give only 65 rupees. So we can get more things from outside. This will lead to increase in import. So what happens in the appreciation? Exports are becoming costlier because what before they used to get more things for rupees 1 or rupee for $1. Now it has become more costlier for outsiders or foreigners. So this will lead to decrease in exports. At the same time, now foreign goods are cheaper for Indians because now we can demand more goods from outside because the value of our rupee is high now. This will lead to increase in imports. So whenever this change happens due to demand and supply, we call it as, in the sense, whenever the value increases, we call it as appreciation. Next, what do you mean by revaluation? It is the opposite of devaluation. Okay, here our domestic currency's value is increasing in terms of foreign currency, but that with the intervention of government or RBI. Here we are mainly talking about RBI or the central bank. So because of central bank, there is an increase in the value of domestic currency. In terms of foreign currency, we call it as revaluation. This is actually deliberately done by the government, mainly to bring down the price of foreign currency or to lower the price of foreign exchange or foreign currency. So revaluation refers to increase. In this situation, there is an increase in the value of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency. This is with the help of government, or this is deliberately done by the central government or central bank. In this system, what happens? Government deliberately lowers the price of foreign exchange, that is the situation we call it as revaluation of the domestic currency. Now, in this situation, exports become costlier and imports become cheaper. So exports will be reduced and imports will be increased. Whenever our things are costlier, outsiders will start demanding less. So our exports will be reducing. The same time, when we feel that things from outside are cheaper, we start importing things from outside. So imports become cheaper for us. So this is what you mean by revaluation. So when foreign exchange rate falls, in the sense when foreign exchange falls, in the sense when their value falls, what happens? Appreciation or revaluation of domestic currency takes place. That means our value increased. Value of our currency increased. So what will happen? Foreign goods will be cheaper and we can purchase more foreign goods now. This will lead to increase in imports. Grishma?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by appreciation?
Hello.
Hmm?
Yes, ma'am. When there is an increase in value
Hmm.
due to market forces.
Value of what? Foreign currency or Indian currency?
Indian currency in terms of foreign exchange.
Hmm.
Due to the
Because of
forces.
market forces. Okay, that's what you mean by appreciation. What do you mean by revaluation, Ashish? Revaluation. Ashish. Hannah.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by revaluation?
The increase in the value of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency by the government.
By the government. That's what you mean by revaluation. Okay. Now with this, there is something related. Now the first one, they are just talking about fixed exchange rate system. Government will fix the exchange rate system mainly to bring stability. Okay, if there is a gap in the what do you say, current account and capital transfers, you can see the government is intervening and fixing the exchange rate for the country. That is one thing, but fixed exchange rate is not used much nowadays because it is it is not flexible according to the stock of foreign exchange reserves. So because of that reason, almost all the countries are using the managed flexible exchange rate system, or mainly the flexible exchange rate system, because it automatically corrects the surplus and deficits in the balance of payments. So because of that, nowadays mostly almost all the government we use flexible exchange rate system, because it depends upon the, or it helps in the countries to have a proper balance of payments. At the same time, they can take some monetary policies and measures that bring equality in the balance of payment situation. Okay. Question: the balance of trade shows a deficit of rupees 5,000 crore and the value of import of goods, value of imports of goods is rupees 9,000 crore. What is the value of export of goods? What is the value of export of goods? Now here, what is given here? Is it balance of payments? What is given here? No one knows what is given.
Balance of trade.
Balance of trade. Okay. So just whenever you get a question, just see that what is given. Femina, do you know what is balance of trade? Balance of trade, what it is? No. Aditya? Balance of trade.
Difference between export and import.
Difference between?
It's the difference between export and import.
Now
goods.
one more thing. Yeah, goods, it should be, we should mention that it is the difference between export of goods and imports of goods. Otherwise, difference in the trade of trade of visibles. This should be there. Okay. Now, one balance of trade, we have to take two things into consideration: value of exports, value of export of goods, and value of import of goods. Here, balance of trade is given, value of import of goods are given, and you have to get value of export of goods. I hope you know how to get it. How to do that? Okay, let me ask Aparna, can you tell balance of trade is equal to how to find? Did you write the question, Aparna?
No, ma'am, I was not able to complete it.
Till where you have written? Did you start writing?
Ma'am, I only got, no, ma'am, in the starting I did not got. I started
Okay,
writing.
balance of trade shows a deficit of, others can complete. Balance of trade shows a deficit of rupees 5,000 crore. And value of imports of goods is rupees 9,000 crore. What is the value of export of goods? What is the value of export of goods? Balance of trade is equal to, what is the formula, Aishwarya?
Value of export of goods minus value of import of goods.
Value of export of goods minus value of import of goods. Okay. Now you got the formula. Just apply this and find out the answer. Yes. Amal Raj. What is given for balance of trade, Amal?
And 5,000.
5,000. It is given deficit of 5,000. So what it will be? When we say deficit, it should be marked with, I told you in the beginning. Karthik? Karthik,
Yes, ma'am.
what is balance of trade? Amount?
9,000 crore.
Hmm?
5,000 crore.
Is it 5,000 crore? It
Negative
is
5,000.
negative, yeah. Minus 5,000 crore. Okay. Now value of export of goods is given. Is it given or not? Grishma?
No, ma'am.
No. So I'm just marking it as X. Minus value of import, how much it is?
9,000.
9,000. Okay. Now you can apply, you can get the answer, right? Just find out the answer, everyone. Aishwarya, you got the answer? Put it in the chat box. Wait. Okay, correct. Amal, did you get the answer? Amal Raj?
No, ma'am.
No? This is step you got, right? It is given on the board. Now just solve it. Bring this 9,000 to this side. Amal, got the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the answer?
4,000.
4,000, that is correct. Okay. Now I will tell another one question. You can just write it down. It's a MCQ question. Okay. The categories of transactions. Just switch on your video. The categories of transactions that are included in the categories of transactions that are included in current account of balance of payments are the categories of transactions that are included in the current account of balance of payments are options now. Okay. A, exports and imports of goods. B, A plus exports and imports of services. C, income from abroad. Which one is the correct answer? You can put in the chat box. Is there any difficulty in the question? Read the question thoroughly and tell which one is the correct option. You can just put that in the chat box. Only one answer I got. What about others? I want everyone to post the answer. Everyone, please post the answer fast. To abroad. All these things are coming. So what will be the answer? Only few gave me answer, like Aishwarya, Karthik, Anila, Elvina, then Anju, you have given the previous one answer, not the present one. What about others? All are quiet. See, the answer is option D because it includes all these things. These all are included in this. And you know that current account balance, it includes export and import of goods, export and import of services, income from abroad or transfer from and to abroad. All these things are included in the current account. Okay, so the option D is the correct answer. Got it, everyone? All are leaving and coming back. What happened now? Okay, next one more question. Just write it down. Switch on your videos, everyone. Question, write it down now. Balance of trade equals. Balance of trade equals. Options I'll tell you. First option. Exports less imports. First option. A, okay. A is exports less imports. Option B, exports of goods less imports of goods. Exports of goods less imports of goods. Option C, exports of services less imports of services. Exports of services less imports of services. Option D, none of the above. Option D, none of the above. Got the answer? Put it in the chat box. It's time now. Okay. Correct.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you please repeat the last option?
None of the above. Okay. Option. All can put it in the chat box. Aditya?
Present, ma'am.
Anila?
Present, ma'am.
Anjo? Aparna?
Present, ma'am.
Basil? Femina? Femina was there, right? Hannah?
Present, ma'am.
Karthik,
Present,
Irfan,
ma'am.
Pavitra. Yes, Pavitra, Sharat, absent. Shubham, Tomlin. Tomlin was not there in the beginning. He was there, right? I felt I asked him question. Okay. Hadi, absent. Aishwarya,
Present, ma'am.
Amal Raj,
Present, ma'am.
Ashish, Elvina,
Present, ma'am.
Grishma, Sneha.
Present.
Okay, the option is B. Okay, that's the correct one. Okay, then. Bye then. Thank you, everyone. Bye.